everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Games Questions. On episode 18 now, so let's get started. I'm going to start off with the UK blog today, and we have, let's see, a question from William regarding Old School Essentials. So William has asked, Old School Essentials Exalted Tribunal has been held in additional checks for a long time now without an update. According to the FAQ, this means only a problem has arisen that can't be immediately resolved. What's going on? It was on project data analysis for a while, along with some additional Exalted Funeral projects, including Forbidden War. So we are seeing movement on the Exalted Funeral projects. The reason it got put on hold was because it was in project data analysis for a while, and we were still going back and forward with the publisher to resolve just certain data issues. So that's why it was put on hold. Nothing too major, it's just it had been sat in project data analysis for a while. But like I said, we have seen movement on the other projects now, so this is the last one to be additional checks, and as soon as we can move forward with it, it will be back in project data analysis and so forth to get towards fulfillment. But apologies for any confusion caused on that. I hope that gives you some information and helps clarify the situation a bit though. So the next question is from Vanya, who has asked, Final Girl has been awaiting from port for about a month now. Is this a process you have influence over? When do you expect to receive this and start fulfilling? Thank you. So that's the first question, so I will answer that one first. So I received an update on Wednesday that it was on site, and we have now done the project data analysis, and we're currently working through the packaging approval. That is now moving. In terms of influence over it arriving from port, we kind of get updates of when it's expected at port and when it's being processed, and then arrange delivery for it to our warehouse. Unfortunately, due to the current climate in the freight industry, we have been receiving a lot of updates about stuff getting stuck or delayed. It has been a little bit of a rocky time for port. However, I can confirm that it has now moved, and once that packaging has been approved, it'll be in final admin checks, and then it'll be in the queue for fulfillment to begin. We hopefully will see a movement on that very soon. For your second question, any update on 11 from Portal Games? Thank you for double time. Thank you for the two questions. It's happy to be able to help. 11 from Portal Games. We don't currently have a fulfillment start date for that, and I believe the publisher would like to update backers directly through the GameFound page, so isn't currently on the blog. And I don't know whether it will be included at a later date, but at this time, unfortunately, we don't have any information to give. But as soon as we have further information to share, we're always happy to. So apologies that I can't help you on the second question. However, thank you for the questions. And hopefully Final Girl will be shipping to you soon. Oh yeah, and we also had another question for 11. Hopefully that has also answered your question, the previous one as well. Apologies that I missed your question. And next question is from Luke, who is still waiting for my copy of Everdale, wondering if I will be the last one in the UK. Luke, if you haven't received any information for your order, if you could just go on our website, we have a customer service tab, and you can submit a ticket, and our team can look into your order order for you, and we can resolve any issues if there is any with your order, or provide further information to what your order is. So apologies that you haven't received it yet, please reach out. Okay, and that's all the UK questions this week. So let's head over to the EU blog. Okay, and the first question on the EU blog is from Paul, who has said, what's the holdup with Mosaic? The latest update we have is that it's going to arrive at port on the 14th of November. I think the last update I gave on this was the 11th, and there was previously another date before then. So this has had delays. However, the latest update is it's going to arrive at port on the 14th. So the next question is from Brian, who has said, how are things going for Heroes of Barricade? What's left before I'm holding it in my hands? Along with Varman, who has also said, I would also give a thumbs up to Brian and ask the same question, when will Heroes of Barricade be delivered to the EU? And also Scott as well. Another +1 for Heroes of Barricade. Yeah, so Heroes of Barricade is currently in final admin checks. UK is now underway, so we're expecting the EU to follow shortly. As usual, for the latest updates, make sure you're following our social media channels because we also post more live updates on there, so you can get the news of when fulfillment does start on there. Okay, and we have another 2 questions for Old School Essentials from Patrick and Nathan, pretty much asking for an update on Old School Essentials. So I had answered that in the UK blog, but just to cover ground in case you haven't seen that, it was put on hold because it had been in project data analysis for a while and there wasn't much movement on it, so it kind of made sense at the time. We are currently in communication with the publisher. However, unfortunately, we don't have a current estimated start date for fulfillment on that. But we're hoping to see movement on it soon. So when we have further updates to give on that, of course we will. And in the meantime, just keep an eye on the blog. And the last question on the U blog this week is from Doverkin and said, "Hi, can we expect the shipping notification for Skyrim this week for EU backers? Thank you." Yeah, so yeah, Skyrim is in final admin checks, and the latest update I have is that we're expecting Skyrim to start for EU backers next week. And that's all the questions this week. Thanks again for everyone who's left them, and as usual, we'll be back next week. So blogs go up on Tuesday. Make sure you get your questions in, and we'll be back on Thursday to answer them. Until then, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, everyone.